Alright, we're going to do our second section today, and I'm a little low on time, so I'm going to go fast. But what's nice is that you guys can stop and pause and rewatch if you need to. So I won't feel bad about going too fast. We're going to do section 3.3. I'm going to put my name up here. And we're going to be talking about fractions and mixed numbers. Comparison. Alright, so first, we're going to use our approximation that we did before to kind of order some numbers from least to greatest. Say we have this set of numbers, and I can use this to denote a set. We have 7/8, we have 2/5, we have 3 and 5/8, 1/29, and 29/30. Alright, and we need to start comparing these numbers to figure out what order is what. Now, if numbers have different denominators, which remember it's a denominator on the bottom with a numerator on the top, it's a little bit tricky for us to sort these things out. So if I was going to take this and I need to go from, let's see, what are they doing? Greatest to least. My first thing that I'm going to find out is, are there anything that I think is greatest? Well, yeah, I can take this one right out already, because I know it's going to be 3 and 5/8 is going to be the largest thing that I have, because it's the only thing I have that's more than 1, right? Okay, next, I want to find out if anything is really, really close to 1, because that's going to be the next number that I'm going to be looking at. So if I look, I have 8ths, I have 5ths, I have 29ths, and I have 30ths. And if something is really close to 1, that means it's really close to the number on the bottom. So that means I have 7/8, ooh, that's really close. 2/5, not that close. 1/29, that's about as far away as you can be. And 29/30. So 7/8 and 29/30 are both 1 away. But that doesn't mean they're both equally close to 1. If I was going to draw these out, if I was going to draw 7/8 and kind of color all of them in but 1, and if I was going to draw 29/30, which is going to be difficult for me, but I'm going to do the best that I can. 2, 4, 8, 16, 30th, so even divide them all again, which I can't really. But it'll be everything colored in except for basically one of these. And I know that 29/30 is going to be closer to 1 because the pieces are much smaller. So if I'm only one piece away with small pieces, it's going to be closer to 1 than if I'm only one piece away with larger pieces. So my next largest number in this grouping is going to be 29/30. Okay? Now, the one after that, though, is definitely going to be 7/8, because that is almost 1, but it can only be beat by something that's a little bit closer than it. So I can put my 7/8 next, and I'm going to cross out my numbers as I put them in. So now the question is, what is smaller, 2/5 or 1/29? Well, we're going to use the same rule that we did before. I have one piece, and this one has 2 pieces, so it's probably going to be this one. And I can even guarantee it's this one, because 1/29, a 29th is a very, very small piece, just like I had with my 30ths. And if I only have one of them, it's going to be a very small number. So my next number in my order is definitely going to be 2/5, followed finally by 1/29. Not 129th, 1/29. Okay, so do you see how I kind of used my estimation powers that we talked about before to kind of order these? Well, you're going to be doing the same kind of thing when we are doing these examples, okay? So, for example, I want you to compare 4/9 and 7/15. That means the greater than, less than, or equal to sign. Well, these are kind of tricky to compare because my gut says that they're both about half. And when they're different denominators on the bottom, it's very difficult for me to really say which is bigger. But what I can do is I can make the denominators on the bottom the same. And what I can do for that is I can find the lowest common denominator if I want. But I'm a mathematician and I'm kind of lazy. So instead of finding that, I'm instead going to just multiply them by each other. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I can take 4/9 and I can take my 7/15, okay? And I want to make the number on the bottom the same for both. So over here, I'm going to multiply both the top and the bottom, because remember, if I multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, it doesn't change the value, just like when we did equivalent fractions. And I'm going to do it by 15, and watch what happens. So 4 times 15 equals, let's put a little equals. 4 times 15 is 60. 9 times 15, I might have to borrow my calculator a little bit for that one. Give me a second to pull it up. 9 times 15 is 135. Now over here, I don't want to multiply by 15 because that would give me a different number on the bottom. So instead I'm going to multiply by whatever this one was. So I'm going to multiply both of these by 9. 7 times 9, I know that one, is 63. 15 by 9, I'm going to get a little help. Well, I guess I should have known that one, huh? Is 135. Now my two fractions are 63 135ths and 60 135ths. Well, now that the bottom is the same, I can easily look at the top. Well, I know 63 is bigger than 60. Yeah, they're close, but 63 is definitely bigger. So that means my original fraction, 7/15, is larger than 4/9. And when you do these, I want to see the work that you do like this. I'm going to do one more comparison, maybe two, depending on my mood. Let's mark this one as example 1. This one we'll call example 2. Okay, let's take a look at 8/9 compared to 3/4. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before because both of these are one away. Now I can use a little bit of logic to figure out which is which, but I'd like to go through the steps just so that you can kind of see it. Okay, I'm going to take my 8/9 and my 3/4. And this side I'm going to multiply by the denominator down here. So both of these get times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 9 times 4 is 36. These both get multiplied by the denominator here. So we're going to multiply both of these by 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 4 times 9, just like 9 times 4, is 36. Now I can easily compare them. I have 32/36 and 27/36. Well, 32 is definitely bigger than 27, which makes this original fraction larger, 8/9. So I can make my little alligator mouth eat them. Nice, I figured it out. We'll do one last one, and I believe some of the examples will ask you to sort 3 numbers. This can be a little bit trickier because if you use the way that I was using before, you have to multiply them all by all the everything that you have. So it's a little easier to find lowest common denominators if you want, but I'm going to use the brute force math method and just multiply by a bunch of things. So let's take it. Let me show you what I mean. I want to compare 3/4, or I want to order from greatest to least. 3/4, 7/10, and 2/3. All right. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to take each of these numbers, 3/4, 7/10, and 2/3. Now I can think of, well, what's the lowest number that all of these go into? And it's probably going to be around, I don't know. But I don't feel like thinking and I'm low on time. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply them by both of the other denominators. So this side gets multiplied by 10 and 3. This one gets multiplied by 4 and 3. This one gets multiplied by 10 and 4. And now my numerators will all be the same, because now at the bottom I will have 70ths, because these are all 70. Okay, 3 times 10 is 30. Wait, did I do something wrong? It's not 70. I was adding. 10 times 4 is 40 times 3 is 120. That makes way more sense. Sorry about that. Okay, 3 times 10 is 30, times 3 is 90. 7 times 4 is 28, times 3, 28 times 3, 16, 24, 6, 7, 8 is 84. 2 times as 20, 20 times 4 is 80. So now I can see from greatest to least, oh look, it was originally in the correct order. So my right order that I would do is 91/20ths, which is 3/4, then 7/8, 7/10, then 2/3. I multiply both of them so that I can get all of them to be 120, because that is kind of my key. You're going to have to do a couple more of these, and you should be able to figure it out kind of like this. I would do them all with this style. If you get confused, ask me or try watching this again. Okay? Good luck.